Yo, give me one sec. Oh, I'm glad it worked. There we go. Hello. Good morning. Music. Hello. This is what I've been looking at today. This is the goal. The whole goal for today, world building wise. Name the planet and then fill out everything else that I haven't filled out. Go folder by folder and fill out stuff that needs filling out. We're writing today. We're doing a lot of writing today. So, the world name. To remind you, fuck, I set the map down. Give me a second. Oh, you know what? I think I can set... Can I... Hold on, can I... Is that a plugin? Is that a... Hold on, I've just had an idea that I'm hoping is a plugin. Community plugins. Browse. App? I want the ability map view for your notes. What does that look like? Interactive map view for notes for encoded geolocations. Okay, no, it's too real map. That's what I need. I want to be able to put a picture of a map down and be able to click on it and get information. Mind map. Hold on, I'm gonna Google this. Obsidian. How does this work? Obsidian leaflet. Hey, wait. Leaflet. Interactive maps are inside your notes. Ha ha ha. That's what I fucking want. Install. Enable. Okay, so now we open up Wonderdraft. His music is weird for a start. Good morning. Hi, by the way. Okay. Homebrew, which still doesn't have a name. And technically this map isn't done either. I think it's a name. I mean, the big thing doesn't have a name. I want to name it something, but I don't want it to be like fantasy name here, you know? Oh, there it is. Oh, the sneeze. Sorry. Oh, I just could feel all the sneezes coming. I was just waiting for them to be done. Oh, yeah. So we have our rough map here with too many, you know, fish symbols. I think it'd be fine. Actually, hold on. I've just had an epiphany. We just move these. Can I not just move it? Let me move. Let me move. There it is. So we just group them together into small sections. Excuse me, I'd like to move this. Oh, I could just grab it. Can I? Oh, wait, I see the problem. I have to grab... This doesn't count because it's not symbol. I have to touch the line. Oh my god. So find a point where the line is thickest and grab there. There you go. This is more like what I imagined in my head when I put these down. But yeah. Dragon attacking the boat. We don't need 2 of those. We don't. We'll get rid of the mermaid, but we'll keep the boat out here. A little further out, though. It's too close to the land. It feels weird. It's too close to the compass rose. It feels. This one might just have to go. Honestly. There we go. Oh, that feels so much more correct. Immediately. Oh my god, that was so much sneezing. What did I get in my nose, man? What did I get in there that my body was like, get it out! Get it out! Okay. Okay, so we still haven't finished the entire map stuff. I'll be honest. We have a lot going on here. I want to put something here, but we don't have the places. I forgot we haven't completely finished the map. But, as an example, let's hide the regions. Let's export this. Image. Oh my god. Okay, when I exported this as an image earlier, homebrew test. It came out kind of blurry. A little weird. Homebrew test. I guess that only happened at Discord. Like, Discord compressed it to fuck. Okay. So we create open leaflet map. Hello? That's not what we want. This is the wrong map. Is it in settings? Leaflet. Hover. Tooltip mode. Is there a how to change map? Default map marker. Icon. Map marker. Marker color. No. What the heck? Default longitude. Import marker. No. Export marker data. No. How do I change this? What the fucking map is? Oh, drawing. How do I fucking leaflet? Explain yourself. Back to plugins real fast, see if it mentions it, or if I can go to the, like, community plugins. Leaflet. Tell me about you. Leaflet code block, for example. Leaflet ID image. Oh, okay. Leaflet map image. How do I fucking use this? No, I want fucking... God, there's so much going on here. Linking the notes. That the alias is required when linking to a note. Okay. Weird. What the fuck? Why is it all coding? I don't want that. I always want to drag and drop. Okay. So if I go... This just is... What the fuck? Okay. So if I go to... Let's say... World name. It's over to here under other. World name. We paste this code block in. Right, obviously this doesn't... So ID... world name. Map would be... Let's drop our image in. Do I have image storage somewhere else? I don't have an image storage yet. Okay. New folder. Image. Oh, wait. I just saw a fucking... Oh! Morning, Goop. I saw your emote at the corner of my eye. I was so focused. I was like, what was that? Image storage. Okay, homebrew test. Rename. No. What the heck is the name of this? Is it homebrew like this? Homebrew test.png. Okay, now what? View. No. Do I put that in the leaflet map section? Here? Like this? Done. Okay, wait. Let's remove this. Oops. Done. No. Let's remove the code block thing. See if that works. Done. No. Okay. There's the map. I want to make this. I want to make this clickable. I want to make this clickable. I want people to be able to see this map, scroll around it, whatever, zoom in. Why can't I zoom in? Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, well, in theory, zoom in. And then, like, click a section. Like, what's over here? You know, bam. Pops it up for you, you know? You know, I'm tempted to just, like, looking at the map, just extend Dushkri and Mortaris into each other. Make these mountains part of the, like, dividing line. Actually, I'm gonna fucking do that. Hold on. Regions. It's gonna make Mortaris and Dushkri so much bigger, but I think we're gonna be fine with that. Hold on. Regions. No, I want regions. This. You. You're growing, baby. Guess what? You're a growing region. Ooh, it's gonna extend it out to here, which then ruins this. So I'm gonna have to put I'm gonna put something here. I don't know what, but something needs to be there. Otherwise, this ruins the whole Ebongate thing. So for whatever reason, Mortaris can't push up into... Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Vorobe is just gonna be bigger. Also, I love how Russian my world became. Like, so much of this is Russian, like Krasnyansk and Volchuria and stuff like that, and Porok. And it just happened to be because... Porok. It just happened to be because it's the whole area up here. So now it's like, there's so much Russian influence up in this section. It's okay, the players are mostly going to be around here. Honestly, this is all like... I set this up so that it exists, and it's something that people can go, oh, like, that's a weird little country over there that I've never... Like if someone in the Middle Ages was like, oh, I'm from fucking, you know, Taiwan or something. They'd be like, whoa, that's crazy. Where the fuck is that? Like, it made the world feel much bigger, and that's the kind of vibe I'm going for here, where it's like, yes... Mainly Mortaris and Avalon and Artuga and stuff like that are the main, like, settings. But I want the others to, like, exist as a, Ooh, maybe they've lost a little bit of territory to Dashgree. Like, they've pushed in a little bit. Just a little bit. Just enough that they're like, I'm comfortable with it. Because that is what Dashgree does. They must assimilate all into their fucking military society. Okay. This comes down here. I know the map looks a little funky right now. I'm trying to make the map like really behave like a regular map with like... Wait, what happened to the fucking dots? Hold on. I see why it went funky. I grabbed the wrong end. Here we go. I'm trying to make the map behave like a regular map in that like... Or like a real world map where it follows... A lot of the country lines follow like geographical lines like mountains and stuff. That's just a thing. But yeah, I'm just going to extend. Mortaris is going to be the biggest place. It's my favorite place, so I don't mind it being fucking giant. Let's bring this down here. Ooh. So the map is freaking out a little less. Whoop. Come down here, friend. We're moving, you guys. You're coming down to this coast. This is the right order of things, yeah? Yeah. Make sure I didn't grab it and turn the map inside out again. And we'll be adding new points, but I just want to make sure I grab the ones that are up there before they're forgotten about. Because it saves me a little bit of drawing space. Is this the next one or is this the next one? I think this is the next one. It's the farthest. We'll find out when the map turns inside out. Oh, I think it's doing it. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Nice. Okay, well, let's just group all this shit up then. No, it'll know. No, it'll... Oh, it's fucked up. Hold on, there we go. Calculate. I'm gonna remove some of these. There we go. Give it a little more nuance. And then it cuts off here because that's the desert. They're not gonna fucking bother with the desert. Okay. And for Dash Creek, we gotta do the same thing. We gotta extend it all the way out here. So Dash Creek will be even bigger, but it's meant to be bigger. And then we'll move, oh no, Vorbe has the mountains. We'll put, I don't know what we'll put here. Something will get put there. We'll get there in a second, but I need there to be a reason why Mortaris hasn't claimed this land for easy access to Avalon for trade. The whole point of the Avon Gate is that they don't have easy access to Avalon, so this has to be a problem for some reason. I'm thinking like, ooh, ideas. Technically, you know, they don't own it, or do they own it? Okay, I'm gonna label this like it's a country, but it's not. Here's the goal. We're gonna do this in a black. I want it to be very, like, obvious something's funky here. This whole area, I'm gonna call the Spirit Wastes. I've just made this up. Basically, it's an area where necromantic magic has sort of gone hella awry, and it's unlivable. There are angry spirits there that all they want is the living to be dead, and so you can't. It's unlivable. It's unpassable. You have to be like basically impossible to take a caravan through because it's just full of angry ghosts and stuff. Maybe zombies. It's like a swamp. Ooh, we'll do even more swamp stuff. Yeah. Okay, so symbols. Remove these. Remove these. God, how many of these trees just like laid on top of themselves? There's a couple of trees from over there. It's kind of, trees don't follow border lines perfectly. And then we grab a bunch of these and just drop them over here. No, I'm just gonna get the trees. I want dust mangrove. Where do they go? There they are. Mangrove trees. And pop peep. Way more because let me come over here. Water. We got lakes. These are big lakes. I want. Oh, I never put any rivers in the map. You might be doing a map day while we think about the name. River. I want it to just look like it's fucking a swampy hellhole. Where's the land brush? There's a water brush. Yeah, those are too round. Roughness, high. Oh, that's better. Ooh, actually, hold on. This is how we're doing it. I want it to look like just weird water sort of permeates the whole area. And it comes down here a little bit too. It's not isolated to perfectly to the... That's going to just be a lake. It's not perfectly isolated to this area, but it is relatively swampy and weird. There's some of that bleed into the ocean. And maybe we get some of that in Mortaris a little bit. Like coming down. Those are too big. Well, I can tell that it's round now because it's the scale of it. Yeah, just big, swampy, shitty area up here. Fucking... And then we turn off the regions? Yeah, you can kind of tell what's going on. It looks like the map is molding, which is kind of, honestly, that's fine with me. That's perfectly reasonable. Okay, labels. You. I'm just gonna... Can I just copy you? Paste you? No. Copy and pasting, illegal. Country. The Soul Wastes. This might need a little bit of curvature. There we go. Okay, now we move into Dash Krieg over. Hey, buddy, it's your time to grow. You've expanded your empire. Congrats. I couldn't be asked to come up with 2 other countries. We don't need them. Keep it simple, stupid. We've got a whole complex area of, like, tiny countries over there. Let's just have some really fucking big places. By the way, these are really big. I don't know if I've shown you the, like... Dash Krieg itself right now is 35 million square miles. It's about to grow. Hold on, let's see its final size, and I'll tell you what relative size that is compared to countries on Earth. I think this might be America-sized, if not bigger. Just on this continent, this one monocontinent. Which, by the way, little fucking secret, because none of you are my players. This is just one of the continents. I'm not going to bother with the other one, because the players will probably likely never go to the other one. But... and not a lot of people know another continent exists, but there are other continents out there. There's at least one other continent. I don't know if there's multiple, but it's just on the other side of the planet, and no one's bothered to get there. Because why? We got stuff going on here. There's no reason to go. We got plenty of room. We got plenty of resources. We're not, they're not like out looking for new places to conquer, except maybe Dash Krieg. Actually, honestly, that'd be probably if my players ever went to another continent, it would be basically funded by Dash Krieg. They'd be like, hey, we want this land. We want to expand more. Yeah. So in the story of everything, by the way, there used to be a whole bunch of other countries here, other places, and Dash Krieg has just enveloped them. I'm going to be putting, when I get to cities and stuff, fully naming cities and things, I'm going to be putting their names for each city, basically. Like, one of these cities used to be a capital of another place, and it's just considered a regular city now. Okay. And this is empty for a reason. This is a salt plain with a nice little beach. The climate is weird here. Don't question it. Okay. So we take off the regions. Cool. And that's what it looked like it was. That's kind of looked like. That's kind of what it looked like when I'm gonna actually move the labels for these. That's kind of what it looked like already with the setup. The way that the mountains were without the labels on. And now it's hard to tell how high Dash Krieg goes up into everything, but it is, it is there. Anyway, ooh, you know, be fun. A border town that was in Mortaris and now isn't. Hold on, symbols. This, there we go. Oh, one of these. Is this the right size and shape? Yes. There's a town right here. Remove that tree. That used to be part of Mortaris and is now in Dash Krieg. They're the first Mortarian fucking town to get Dash Krieged. I just realized that there were cities there, so I had to move the label. I like it there anyway. And the tree stopped because desert. Yeah. There's a lot of little places in the desert, I decided. But there's no... They don't claim the land, essentially. So in theory, anybody could come down here and claim it, but the mountains are stopping Dutch Krieg and Martaris just has no interest. They've got enough space. Okay, so Dutch Krieg at the end of the day is how big? 57 million miles squared. How many square miles is the United States? All right, so it's not quite United States level. This is 500,000 square miles. The U.S. is 3,800 square miles. Okay. What country is 500,000 square miles? Wow. It knew. The closest country by area that's 500,000 square miles is, let's see, it's going to be between Peru and Mongolia. Mongolia is 600,000. Peru is 496,000, so really close to the size of Peru. So a big chunk of the U.S. basically, like if you place Dutch Krieg in the center of the U.S., it'd take up the entire middle, or most of California. Okay. Oh, now that test is out of date, but export PNG, Uber test. And the question is, did that change it in the notes, or do I have to refresh the thing, you know? I think I need to refresh this. Okay. Homebrew test. Image storage. Oops, I did it with the... It's fine. How do I link? Can I link stuff to this image? I just want to... Okay, wait, how did... Okay. The ID needs to be unique, no other maps are the same one. The image is just a link to an image file in your vault. At this point, you should have a working map in the reader view for the note. You could stop there with configuring map, but I wouldn't recommend it. Before we dive deeper, optimize our map. Defining the bounds of your image will let Obsidian know exactly how big it is and allow you to measure distances on the map accurately. Here's what the code block looks like with bounds. Calculating bounds. Okay, the code block didn't work originally. Let's try it again. Let's go to world name. Okay, homebrew test PNG. I'm gonna rename this. See if that helps, because sometimes the spaces will... I mean, most code is ignore spaces completely, but... Okay, reader view, still broken. ID... world map with... regions. Okay, let's call it that. How about now? No. I need to do it all in code and then fucking... I'll right-click anywhere in the map. That's nice. God, this is complex. Interactable. Let's see if there's an easier one. Leaflet versus map view. Map view is a different one. Results. Everyone likes map view more. Personal Google map. Generally written imitate. I obviously prefer map view for my own use. Map view is started as a view. Map view is the geolocation one. God, this is so fucking... Leaflet allows interactive maps. Okay. Animal maps with leaflet. Alright, alright. I'm gonna figure this out on my own, so I'm not just sitting here watching tutorials on stream. We'll come back to that. For now, I'm gonna delete this code block. Oh, a double code block? Maybe that's the problem? Oh! That was the problem. That was the problem. Okay, so I can set the initial zoom, but this is nice. What would this look like? Reader view, okay. This is nice. I would want to make this bigger, but this is nice. Okay. We're on a roll here. So as a tester, show all markers. Well, nope, that zoomed out way too far. So, for example, if I put a marker here, King's. Did I not make King's Rest yet? No, I didn't. Okay. Instead, let's move this to. You have to click on the word, I guess. No, I didn't want a thing just called King. Edit marker. Avalon. Marker type default? Or what's default and default? Okay. Can I just hide? Can I have no marker type? Oh, I can change the map zoom level that it shows up on. Okay. Note to open. Avalon. Close. Does it say what level of zoom it's at right now? This is 10 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I don't want anything to show up at zoom 10. This would just be countries? Okay, I need this to be bigger too. Okay, we'll figure that out. We're good. But we get Avalon, we click it, take us to Avalon. Okay, that's excellent. I don't have the map fully set up, but this is a perfect little thing to figure out. I'm gonna do a... Nope, that's not what I wanted. It was a syntax error. Does it still function? No. Cool. Cool. And now it's paused for a second. No, you know what? I will just delete the whole thing. We'll figure it out. But that is a thing that works now. We know how it works. We can come back to that. World name. Okay. I wanted to name my world originally like Deus Mortis or something like that. Deus Mortem, which means dead gods. It was too on the nose for me, which is crazy. I have a place called Bashkrieg, as in Blitzkrieg, as in fucking... Yeah, But yeah, so that's a thing. Okay, so they could do some more like Latin-ish, like fake Latin. Is there other words like absence or hold on, English to Latin? I hesitate to go straight into just naming the thing with Latin, but it is very useful. And if people are, I want something that's like understandable enough that if someone really thought about it, they could go, oh, wait, this means something, I bet. So like, what's the English version, or let's see, gap. No, gap. Hole. Foramen. Oh, like foramen. Okay. Gap, hole, wound. Volnus, that's fun. We could go over something like vestigial, like vestigious or something, but that's, well, again, obvious. Let's see. God's Fall? I don't know. It seems fucking... It has a name that has nothing to... They used to have a lot of gods, but they don't anymore. You know what? I could be really annoying. So I have this god. Let's open up the gods page. His name is Seraphos. He's the... Or, sorry, her name is Seraphos. I forgot Seraphos is a woman. She is the goddess of order. She's very much about order. She's the mother of devils, angels, and celestials. Celestials are my version of both tieflings and Aasimar in one thing, because she's the mother of both devils and angels. Because they're just both... They both care about law, and so law and order, even if it's... one wants to break it, or one wants to twist it, one wants to abide by it at all times. That kind of thing. So she's just the goddess of order. She's very, like, neutral in that regard. She doesn't care so much about... good, she just cares about order. But because of that, because she's the creator of the angels, and the angels are often seen as this, like, divine presence, or like good divine presence, she's seen as like a creator goddess, or a lot of people consider her the like the main, the head, the leader, you know, like the Zeus of this pantheon. She's the figurehead of the main religion, or was, because that's the thing. I was going to originally do this whole thing where all the gods are everywhere and they're constantly annoying people, but then I realized it'd be really interesting if, at least in the first couple games, the gods are missing. Like, they're just gone. Very much take a page out of RuneScape's book. Actually, now that I'm realizing it, I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, wait a second, this is RuneScape. Give me 1 second, my cat is bugging me for water. Basically... just as fast as we didn't scream. Okay. Basically, in RuneScape, the idea was that, like, Gielinor, which is the name of the planet, is an anagram for religion. And there are a couple of gods, and everything is really, like, leans on these gods, and it's very, like... It's very important to the people there. And, but they're gone. Like, in old school RuneScape, at least, the gods are missing. And I think... that I realized I liked that idea, and I didn't realize that's where it was coming from, or if it was, I feel like I thought of it on my own, but it probably was coming from that. So, we are going to lean on that a little bit. Let's name the world something God-related. Like, I was saying, sorry, I got distracted. The reason I bring up Seraphos is I could be really annoying and name the world, like, Seraphine, you know? Like, because you got Seraphos, you got the religion of Seraphim. The planet is Seraphine. Like, people are really about this one god. I think that's too much. Newman. What does Newman mean? I think that means gods. Spirit of divine power or presiding over a thing or place. Okay, I actually like Numen as an option. Numenos? N-U-M-E-O-S? N-U-M-E-O-S. Numios. Really close to numeros. What is a number? I Google my names first in case like someone else has already taken it. Numinous. Having a strong religious or spiritual quality indicating or suggesting the presence of divinity is actually a word, numinous with an I, but numinos is not. However, I don't know if it's my own, I don't know if it's my own, like, bias, but I'm wondering, is numinos to, like, I'm so used to world names having like Alvandris, Alendil, Foringing. Like it sounds like a place. Numinos sounds like a god, not a place to me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to my D&D Discord. You can't see this because it's my D&D Discord. Hey guys, I'm working on. Create poll. Okay. Well, every idea we have, we're gonna put there, and then we're just gonna leave it for now, unless because they'll probably answer pretty fast. So numinos, numinous, numinas, numinas, numinous, numinos. What else we got? Something about divinity, sancted. What's the word? Sanctified. That's the word I'm looking for. I was like, I know that's the word that means sanct. Sanctar, no. What's numinos? Is numinos? It's not a Spanish word, is it? No. Numens O's. Anyway, let's see. What else we got? Elendor for like Elysium and Splendor. I don't know. Elendor. It's tough. Sorry, you were just staring at this one page while I think. I can't show you my brain, otherwise I would. Okay, you know what I can do? I can write down ideas. We'll write it down in world name over here. Okay. Potential ideas. I'm gonna make them big. Numinous / numinos. Or we could do / numinios. Numinos. It would be pronounced the same, numinos, but like closer to the real thing I was trying to ape. We have Elindor, which is just the random one I came up with, which is like Elysium and Splendor, I guess. It was like, I don't know, it's fancy. Elindor. / Elendar. Hmm. I can't do. I was thinking like something with IU in it, but I've already done that for another area. Like I was like, oh, it's gold, the divine gold. Because I'm trying to make it indication of like this world was once heavily populated by, literally populated by gods, where they were like fucking around. It's Skyrim Daedra kind of thing, where they're just around, and then they just disappeared one day, like 100 years ago or something. And so the world has a name that is indicative of the divine nature of it, but I don't know like what, like, because I could also go for like a lack of divine nature, like the world has a new name that's like, you know, the, I don't know, like what was my original? It was like Deus Mortis or something like that, which is way too fucking on the nose. Basically just means dead gods, or god dead. It's not really translatable that way. I did just sort of grab random Latin words, and or like I think there's a shortened way to say dead god, which is like day. Hold on. English to... Oh, wait. There it is right there. Where's my Latin translation? Okay. If I go to Latin, DEI... Okay. That is a way. So it could be like day... Day... Sometimes I just start saying words and then see where it falls in my mouth. Like... Deumbre, you know? Is the first fucking thought I had, which is like... the god's shadow, you know, because umbra is like umbre is like shadow. I actually kind of really like that one, de umbre. I'm not against this one. I do like de umbre, as in the like, yeah, because it could dual meaning it. It could be like it could dual meaning it to like day as in, you know, God's shadow, right? And it could mean either all like we just see shadows of the gods that are left, or it could mean like we are all under we are all under like hidden by the gods and their splendor. We are all in the god's shadow, kind of thing. So Deumbre is high on my list. Let's see, what else could we do? Is there another way? Okay, what's the Terra, right? Is land? Or is it Earth specifically? Earth, okay. Land. It is Terra, so... Terra Day is another idea. I don't know how I feel about that one as much. It's a little too... I don't know, the Terra one makes me think of Warhammer. But we could fit day in there. I do like fitting day because it's definitely Latin for God, but it's not like super obvious. Let's see. What is hold on, what's Latin for, hold on, heaven? Calum. Isn't there a place? Yes, Caledonia is a real place. Okay, I was like, isn't there a place that has the Latin root of Calum? Calum. Hey, Blue, how's it going? Calum Day. Calumdar. Calum. No, I don't like Calum. But not Cades. It's tough. Okay, of the names I've picked so far, Blue, which of these feel like either a real place or you like the sound of or whatever? Like, if you had to choose one. so far. I'm just translating stuff into Latin randomly while I check. Mortus. The problem is I don't want to do another Mortis, like Mortus or whatever, because the second one, I think. Elendor? Yeah, that's what the problem I have with Elendor / Elendar is that the problem I have with it is it feels like a fantasy name. Does that make sense? Which is probably right for the feel of the heroic fantasy that I want to evoke. But at the same time, it feels like, oh, this, like if someone came up to you in line at Starbucks and saw you were wearing a D&D shirt, it's like, oh, do you want to hear about my homebrew world? And they opened with, it's called Elendar. You're gonna check out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is not anything creative. This is not interesting. There's nothing different here. This is Tolkien fantasy with fucking, I mean, everything's Tolkien fantasy, but it's like, you know, it's the, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. You might disagree. And my players might disagree. I'm going to also poll them. We're just writing down ideas right now, but I was just curious how you were feeling. But I will take your vote into consideration. I will count it amongst the votes. If you had to rank them, and rank all of them, or like, if you have a second to rank them, between like Numenos, Numenos, or Numenos, Elendor, Elendar, Deumbre, like that kind of thing. I like Deumbre concept-wise a lot. I don't like how it sounds. You know what I mean? Like, the idea of the god's shadow is exactly what I'm trying to evoke. Right? The problem I'm having then... I agree. Here's my other problem. I'm always looking for the perfect solution. I don't always find it, but I'm always looking for the perfect solution. For Numenos and Numenos and things like that, it doesn't sound like... You know, it doesn't sound like a place. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I don't like the way Deumbre sounds. Like, but the idea of the god's shadow, where it was originally named because they're all under the shadow of the gods, and is now a double meaning between meaning that the gods, all that's left are their shadows. I could try other languages, but I might. Okay. I'm going to move away from my normal naming convention for a split second. When I name something, I always look up a version, like, if we look at my map real quick, everything here means something. Like, you know, Krasnibik or, like, Moznit and stuff like that, they all have translations, or they're close to a translation. A lot of times I will take a word and then corrupt it slightly to make it sound more like a place. But a lot of these are just straight up Russian words that mean a thing. One of them is brain rot, and I forget which one it is. You know, that kind of thing. Like Dash Krieg obviously is a play on words with, not a play on words, it's just instead of Blitz, it's Dash. They are the sort of Holy Roman Empire style, you know, Germany before they are Germany kind of thing. And so I wanted to give them German sounds. We have this over here, Gishiri, is I think it's, I forgot what language it is, but it means salt, because this is a salt plain, you know. Or Bakeku over here means like beach, you know. And it sounded Bakeku, even though it wasn't Japanese, it sounds similar to Japanese, so it felt right putting it over here near Ryoshima. Or like Ryoshima. You hear that and go, oh, Hiroshima. No. Shima just means island. So Ryu is dragon, Shima is island. So Ryoshima is just dragon island. You know, everything I have has a name in some language somewhere. And occasionally, like Mortaris, like Mortis, like death. Occasionally, though, I will steal names from mythology. Like Avalon is the mythical place where, what's his name died? Oh, hey, Madeline, nice. King Arthur. It's where King Arthur died. So you get the vibe. It's like England over here. Jotunheim, obviously, is the land of the giants in Norse mythology, and so on and so forth. Or I steal directly from other D&D things. But yeah. But I do have a couple there, like Valley of Iron, the Soul Wastes, that are just named. I'm gonna try one of those names for real quick, like Valley of Iron and Soul Wastes. Let's see what we can come up with. Something that's like, God, this is such a good song. It's sorry, distraction for a second. It's really good, and I like it a lot. does occasionally make me really sad. Because it's just, it's pretty. Let's see. Soul. No, you soul. We could just wait. Hold on. Hold on. It's not my idea. Pantheos? That's not what I just did the opposite of what I said I was gonna do. It's an idea. Just Pantheon, but like Pantheos. Time to keyboard slam and add vowels so it sounds like a name. Yeah, I don't like that. You're right. You're so right. This is going to be the best way to deal with it. But the ones that just sound like fantasy names, I shy away from so hard. Like Elendor and Elendar, even though I took it from Elysium and Door as in like Splendor, I was like Elysium, Splendor, sort of like that kind of thing. Combining them. Pendium, yeah. Pendium. Ooh, I do like that. I want to put that in the same category. It needs to have meaning. It does. Pendeum. Actually, I would go de, because like to really indicate God, you know? And Pan, I think, is like all, so all gods. Like Pantheos, Theos, I think, is place. I've lost a lot of my, some of the Latin I figured out for D&D stuff. Sorry, I'm gonna zone out for a second while I think, process with the music. Pen means bread. Yes. I mean, it does also mean bread. Omdium? No. What is... Hold on. I know that it means more than bread. I gotta look this up. The rect of Pantheon. Pantheon is a Greek word that translates to all the gods. There it is. This is from Carpe Diem Tours, by the way. Pan in Greek means all, think pandemic, while theon means gods, meaning that pantheon is a compound that translates to all the gods. So theon is the plural for gods, de is the singular god. So, but it is the root word also for bread. Let's see. Wait. Detheos. That just means gods. Putting it in the list. I can't decide between Pandium with an E, with a U, Pendium, or Pendium. Pendium. Pendeum or Pendium. I'd probably say Pendeum either way. It also kind of makes me think of, what's the word? Pendium? What's the fucking... There is a word that is basically this already. The fuck is it? Not Pandorum. No. Pandemonium. I'm thinking of Pandemonium. You're mixing Greek and Latin. You're right, it is Greek. Compendium. Yeah. I wonder if compendium is like related to day. As in like the I don't know, probably not, but Atheos is fine. I like that one too. Also, we can move away from Greek and stuff. It's just hello, Des. How's it going, my dude? It's just the Greek stuff is really easy for players. All right, I've got multiple. Here, hold on. I'm gonna make a little list of what I want out of a name. First, not Smash fantasy name needs to mean something. Lean towards something related to the nature of the world. Many gods. Okay. Not Key Smash Fantasy name. Also in Latin, each word has like 7 forms. That's fair. That's fair. The Latin does have like a million different forms for stuff. Not Key Smash Fantasy name. Needs to mean something. What else do I want? I want it to sound good. I.e., sound like a real place that could exist. Deus, Deum, yeah, De. And I don't care, and I don't mind about like mixing the tenses or mixing the forms or whatever. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. But one of the other things I want is I want it to be a little obscure, but for smart players, they can translate it. Like everything in the map, once again, a lot of this stuff is not immediately translatable, but you look at something like, you know, Autuga, right? You're like, oh, okay, I see the tuga as turtle, or it's a bit of turtle, it's half of turtle. Then you have Ao, which is like you have Tortuga, and the Urtuga is part of turtle, and then Ao is the AU, the gold, so golden turtle is kind of the vibe. It's not Ao Tortuga, it's just Autuga. Autuga. That R is a little subtle R. So you can like sit there and like think about it and work through what it could be. But for smart players, you can translate it. Yeah, exactly. Mortaris is land of the dead, or Deathland. You're right. Mortaris is a land full of necromancers who use the dead to do the labor in the world, you know? I'm gonna move these trees while we're talking. Yeah, I like to put them on the water because they have like little waves and little stickies. There just isn't a lot of water in Mortaris to put it on. Keep that under the word. It gives it some texture. The wood. There we go. Actually, there's some regular trees over here. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, Mortaris is the land of necromancers that use the dead for their manual labor. So, yeah, you can look at it and go, okay, I got a vibe for it because it says Mort. Hold on, it didn't minimize. There we go. So Deo is usually the Latin word for the Christian god. Yes, it is. Because it is just God, capital, or whatever. Deus. De. Yes, you're correct. And the Greek pantheon, or whatever. Let's... I want to move away from Latin a little bit. Latin is also a little bit overplayed. But I am putting a bunch of Latin in there. See, I wanted to do a name like Cradle of Heaven or something. But that sounds like the name of a mountain. You know? Like, I want to try a name that's in plain English. But that's tough. Ooh, Celeste, yeah. And I'm skipping, Seraph, as in, like, angel, because I already have a god named Seraphos. Or, sorry, a goddess named Seraphos. I forgot I changed her. What name are we looking at? Anything here. Anything that's listed, I'm looking at these as possibilities. Cases like this are the only places it's been useful. Yeah, that's true. Though it is useful to pick out root words on stuff where someone's like, says the word umbrella and you have a little fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blast. You go, umbra, umbrella, shadow, sombrero, shadow. Like, You know what I mean? Like, what? Just turn numbers into names. First Eon, second Eon, third Aura. Yeah. We could even go back to Latin, do like Decius and fucking Septimus and things like that. You know, something like Echo of Creation or the Anointed Sphere or the fucking the Chosen Plane or the Seat of the Gods. Ooh, wait, go back to Latin real fast. Where's my fucking Latin translator? Seat. Sedes. Sedes de? De sedes? De sedes. I don't know, I don't like that. It sounds like Spanish. It's just fine, but it's not the vibe I want. Paragon of Oblivion. Yeah. Meh. Dithro? Toyo Day? Yeah. Sedes Day also sounds weird. You are so right, Dice. Or Andy. I'm here with Andy. There's a name there. The music is not helping. Mario Sunshine, you're freaking me out. Child. Probium. No. See, this is naming things is hard. All these others, I had no problem. This time, struggle. Because nothing is perfect. And nothing is perfect. That's part of the problem. But ooh, wait. Idea? What's Latin for hollow? Cave. Basically cave. Cave. Thronos Cave. The hollow throne. It's okay. How can I break this down and use the same sounds but change the word? Or not use the same sounds? What if... Hold on. Okay, so like we could take, for example, we take two words like empty throne, which is, you know, thronus, innis, right? We take this and we go throw an eye or something, you know, like we can like just cut out the middle and combine it because I did that with Artuga. It's so hard. We're gonna be doing this for like, I'm already on an hour and 20 minutes of trying to do this, so this might be the whole stream, guys. I thought it wasn't gonna be the whole stream when I started. I was like, oh, we'll work on other stuff after. This might end up being the whole stream. But I'm loving your suggestions. I am really appreciating them. They're helping me think outside of my own brain. Because my brain, sometimes you get trapped in little thoughts sections. Sodium cave. Yeah. What if I... Excuse me. What if I stole stuff? What if I just like thrown an ass? What if I just stole a name? Like, I wouldn't do Elendar. Elendar is too fantasy. Elendar is at least closer to words that mean something. original idea, so why not? Yeah, I just don't know what I want to steal now. Let's see. In RuneScape, the word Gielinor, which is the name of the planet, name of the area, is the word religion anagrammed. Let's see, what other places can we steal from? Just add a new to the front. New York. That's my immediate first thought. War crime is not a crime if you do it for the... That's not how that works at all. That is not how that works in the slightest. Oh, fuck. Because it could very quickly become one, and then it's retroactive. See Germany, 1940, whatever. What the fuck? Canada would disagree. Yeah, well. I got nothing, I got no, I'm not Canadian, so I got nothing to say. I know nothing. But it rhymes. You're right, it does rhyme. What is the specific place you want to name again? I'll show you. This. The whole place. The whole thing. All of it. In akin to Tamriel, in akin to Azeroth, in akin to Gielinor, you know, things like that. This whole thing needs a name. Yes. Exactly. The world name. It needs a name. Because I've been naming it, I've been using for all my files, it says unnamed homebrew for the last half a year. Or not even half a year. For the last, like, 6 months. That's half a year. It has been 6 months. For the last half year, it's just said unnamed homebrew. You can see it down here at the... Oh, you can't, because the music's in the way. Unnamed homebrew is the name of the notes. Because I didn't have a name for it. And I still don't have a name for it. Look up the world's world. That's true. World is kind of like we just call our planet Earth, which means dirt, you know? I did it, or like Terra even. The problem is, yeah, I'm gonna look at it right now. It's a good idea, but a lot of languages have very distinct, like, sounds to them. In Mandarin, it's earthball. That's funny. But yeah, like, but a lot of languages have very distinct sounds, you know? Like, I went to Mandarin, right? So Mandarin. Dirt. If I just look up dirt, like, how would I say that? Wugo, right? Wugo. If I went and put another language on there, let's take another language. Let's say Danish. Smuds. I know this is not a great example, but Smudsgo sounds very like it sounds like I've taken two. Is it Smuds? How do you say that? Smoose. Why is there a D there? Smoosgo. Sounds weird because it's taking two different phonetics together, you know? I'm not gonna call it Azeroth. Yeah, it is WoW. But it is a fine idea. I just worry about the phonetic sounds getting mixed in a weird way, which I've already done some of. I just have to find ones that sound good together. I don't know. Look, I'm picky. There's a reason this is gonna take me. It's already taken me an hour and 20 minutes to write 5 names or whatever. Means more like dirty dirt. Yeah, that was kind of where I was. I just looked up dirt. I was literally looking for like dirt. Because soil is closer word used to mean dirt. Oh, okay. So dirt, that's dirt as in like literally dirt on your skin. Oh, okay. See, this is where English trips me up a little bit, is I will think about the fact that we use dirt to mean both dirt on your skin and dirt in the ground, you know? Like we have the word soil, no one says soil unless they're a weird gardener or something. Like it's almost a technical word in a weird way. People will mostly just say, go play it in the dirt, or go pick up that handful of dirt. And so, like, my brain goes, English says dirt, and I just translate to dirt, and not thinking about the fact that there probably are two different things in other languages that like, it could be a specific word, and I don't realize it, you know? I'm thinking about it as in a direct translation sense, which is not the case for a lot of things. Or loam. Yeah, loam. Nerd. Hey, what's up, Red Panda? It's a situational word. Yeah, exactly. I could just call it, like, the empty throne. Like, but that would imply that the name got the whole world got a name change when the gods left. Which doesn't make sense. Actually. Easy there, brother. Let's see. God, I'm also hungry. This is not helping. Oh, I've had an idea. What's the Latin word for fucking... I know we're back to Latin, but what's the... Well, that's not helpful. There's no Latin word for quartermaster. Like the... God, I'm just staring at my screen, just blanking the fuck out. Different words for everything? Elaborate. Elaborate. What do you mean? Explain yourself. Desperado. I can't put L in there. That's the other half. That's the other thing I want. Hold on. Another category. Isn't too obvious. No, because a lot of my stuff is pretty obvious that it's like a certain language. I want to try and avoid stuff where it's like, oh, that's just something in Spanish. You know? Like with Latin, at least it feels like it might be a thing that's just sort of Latin sounding. It might not be a real thing, but it might be a thing. Oh, wait. I've got an idea. Warhammer planets. Let's look up some Warhammer planets. This is a great idea. Give me a list of planets. Just gonna scroll through the planets. War category planets. Let's see. I already like Deimos. Is Deimos a place? That's a real planet? That's actually a real planet. In our solar system. Deimos is a place. Alright, can't take that one. Diamat? Sounds like Tiamat. So naming a world. Yeah, I'm trying to name the whole world. Deimos is a moon of Mars. Yeah, I realized that as soon as I looked it up. I was like, shit, that's real. I mean, it can be real. I don't hate that it's called Deimos, but I don't know. So to explain, Edwin, I'm trying to name my world. My world has 30-something, or had at one point, 30-something, like, specific gods of things. Like, here, I'll pull it up. If I go to the god family tree, because each god, there's, like, generations of them, essentially. They all sort of have their own, although these I'm less sure on. But for the most part, over here, they each have their own thing. And the world is, like, heavily populated by them. Now, in terms of, like Skyrim level where you'll just find Sanguinists, like, sitting at a bar kind of thing. Like, that kind of shit where the Daedra just fuck with people. It's the same for all the gods. They all just kind of intervened, would show up, had forms that people recognized, and then one day they all just vanished. And that wasn't that long ago. It's only, like, Hadn't decided how long ago yet. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of like 500-ish years ago. I said 100 at the beginning of the stream. I really meant something. I wanted something where like some really old elves and things would probably remember them, but other people, they just know them as stories. It's very similar to, if you've played old school RuneScape, how the world works there, where there were gods walking amongst humans, and then suddenly one day they got sealed away. For this, they got sealed away or they died or something. We don't know. Like the original name I had for this world, the original idea I had when I started the stream up was like Deus Mortis or something. It's like dead gods, you know? So I'm trying to, but then the idea is, did they name the place after the gods disappeared, or is the name something like, oh, we are godful, we have many divine references. So I have a lot of like Theos, Pantheos, Pandium, Deumbre, things like these are all ideas I'm having as we go through. Something along the lines of the Promised Land. Yeah, something like that. Like, and so at the moment, just because I can't think of anything, I'm looking at Warhammer planet names, because Warhammer is is also a very religious, has a lot of religious theming in it, and so there might be some good stuff in there. So I'm just scrolling while I get suggestions from chat and think through it myself at the same time. Like Angelus. The Greek word for down can be kato. Kato or kato? Kato. As a general adverb indicating a downward direction, so maybe call the world, name the world for where it is. It is beneath us. Ooh, that's cool. I like that idea. I don't know if I want to do that exact word, but you've got me on a good path. Okay. Hear me out. The gods themselves named the world. I didn't think about this. I was thinking about the people naming the world. But the gods themselves named the world. They're going to name it in relation to what they're doing with it. Right? So the idea of it being down, like literally beneath us, is cool. My gods are not all residing in the same plane of existence. They're not like all above or all below. They don't have physical locations really. But I like this idea of the gods. The gods are the one that named the place. You know, they were there first, they named it, then they made people. So, let's think about this. Who are my gods? Right? This is the wrong map. Who are my gods? These people. Who are the first two? The first two are Alfana and Omarion. The gods make the world or find it. So, that is a good question. In my... big boy... I haven't named this guy yet, by the way. So these are basically the parents of the gods. You have the primordial god of darkness and the primordial god of light, and each one has made, well, not really light, more like, it's not light because I moved light and darkness over here. But basically, this guy Omeron is the father of things like chaos, metal, fire, earth, death, darkness, stuff that has a lot of like heaviness to it, like either emotionally or physically. And then over here, Alfana is the parent of magic, order, water, air, light, and life. You know, things that feel more airy. The gods live beneath monoliths, tablets of stone structures. Can be neat. So the question is, did Alfana and Omarion make the world? Did they physically create it? Or did they... Oh, I've just had an idea. Yeah, hear me out. Gods of matter and antimatter. Like they aren't actually gods of matter and antimatter, but they sort of they exist in this sort of matter and antimatter state where they're the primordial basic building blocks of the universe, or of this planet, of this area at least. We don't know if there are other gods. And then up here, I haven't named this guy or this person. It just says Eldritch Horror Time. That's when we get up into what created them. So, Morion and Alfana, and matter and antimatter. And you'd think matter would be the good one, antimatter would be the quote-unquote bad one. But it seems like matter is more like metal and fire and earth, like things that exist and they're real. That's when keyboard slam, yeah. Yeah, positive and negative energy, exactly. That's exactly the way... That's a better way of describing it, the matter and antimatter, but it, like, both kind of works. So you have, like, protons and electrons, right? Neutrons, who knows? But the idea of like protons and electrons is like here, and positive and negative energy, like that's sort of the general gist of them both. But not evil, because metal is in here, earth is in here, Sorry, I'm changing the music a little bit up. Exactly, it's two sides of the same coin. They would probably be, if the world was created, they would be the ones that would have created it. However, I don't think they care enough to have named it. I think what is happening, and I haven't fully decided on this yet, so we're working through it right now as I talk. Creator God that creates gods, Eldritch Horror Time, somehow, for whatever reason, spits out these two. They create everything else. Like, it is just this god and nothing else. There is no space, there's no nothing. These two pop into existence for whatever reason. Maybe it's lonely, I don't know. These two pop into existence for whatever reason, and suddenly matter and antimatter exists as a concept. All of space pops into creation because they are the embodiment of these things. Which means they are the primordial forces that create planets and things and create suns. And because I do want a little bit of sci-fi in there where it's like, yes, this is a fantasy planet, but it's literally a fantasy planet, and there are other planets. I don't know if there are people or things on it, but like the way we have space also exists alongside alternate planes of reality. So yeah. Anyway, and I might even at some point do a little sneaky shift and make it so the alternate planes of reality, quote unquote, are actually just other planets. But I like them being alternate planes of reality, a la Oblivion in Elder Scrolls, right? And I feel like they're a semblance of a dream, and then bam, the gods. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hesitate to go the dream route only because that's exactly how the gods are created in RuneScape, but I might steal it. I was already thinking dream, but I was like, no, that's how the runes works in RuneScape. And I was like, no, but that's good. I like it. So it might still get stolen, but that is why I hesitated and didn't say dream right away. So Althana and Omarion are born matter creates. They, I don't think intentionally, I think while creating things, they kind of accidentally go and get these gods exist, essentially. And they find they choose a planet and it becomes, or they find a planet that exists because of them, but they still name it. So they don't create it, they find it, to answer your question. But it's the first generation of gods here that finds the planet and names it. Yes. Because these are all primordial forces, which, by the way, in case you're curious, I don't know why you would be. I have a, where is it? World? No. Where'd it go? World. Gosh. Locations. No, let's close that for now. It's in here somewhere. Gods. Oh yeah, wait, there's one more god that's on here that he's off in his own category. We'll get to him later. We don't know where he comes from. His name's Giggles. Okay, characters. Where the heck is it? Where did I put it? Somewhere, elements. There we go. Elemental web. So I have this elemental web that's based off of the god family tree over here. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Put it back. So I have this elemental web that's based around the primordial god family tree, where it's like each one of these first generation of gods is based on a primordial element. Hold on. The Eldritch God dies, and its death from the god of light and darkness are born. They are locked into eternal war to see who rules the newly formed galaxy. Okay. Getting there was ultimate nothingness. The nothingness was inherently unstable and broke into the first two gods. Yeah, basically. Like, they just sort of happened. I hadn't quite decided, like, what the happening was yet. But yeah, you can see, like, there's a relationship between this is why it's called elemental web and not anything, because it's complicated, where it's like metal and order, they interact positively. Fire and metal interact positively. Earth and metal have a positive interaction, but metal and magic, negative interaction. They don't do good together. Like order and chaos, negative interaction. But order is good with magic, and chaos is also good with magic. So magic is like the bridge between order and chaos. You know? Like fire and water. Elemental can't hang. But fire hangs with light. Water hangs with life. And there are some that don't have any interaction at all. Like water and light, completely neutral. If there's no like arrows, they don't have a problem with each other. They don't have a good with each other. And so, why did I bring that up? So these original gods are the primordial forces, and so they are also kind of birthed into existence without thought. The rest of these are very specific things. So like all metal, by the way, Des. Like literally anything that is metal. Or like unrefined metal, finished metal. But like, for example, we come over here, we can see that the goddess of magic has created, you know, a god of knowledge, the god of lies and trickery, the goddess of necromancy, the god of love and sex. Like, magic has its hand in a lot of things, you know. And if you come down here, the god of knowledge itself, as without any help from any other god, because a lot of times you'll notice, like, you know, magic is, or knowledge is magic and order, right? And now there's knowledge. People want to learn about magic or whatever. Or insanity and fate is the combination of order and chaos together. So, like, we come down here to something like Iridion, the god of knowledge, and that goes into Etharion, the god of invention, and also creates I can never say the name right. There's a reason it's spelled this way. Moshe. I need to hold on. I need to, like, give a pronounce. It's right there. Pronounced Moshe. That was a joke. Don't worry about it. The god of skeptics. So knowledge creates the god of skeptics, the god of invention, which is like a specific down here in the 3rd generation, and so on. So what I'm trying to say is the 1st generation is basic stuff. They're the ones that find the world. Coming back to this. But do you have fantasy metals? Oh, for sure. Probably. I haven't gotten that deep yet. I am doing a lot of the groundwork so that when my players run into stuff... Wait. World name suggestion, The Chosen something. Yeah, I wrote The Chosen earlier, and then I took it away. Yeah, it's a good idea. Hold on, what even is that? Electus? How do you guys feel about Electus? Which is just Latin for the chosen. Like, this is the chosen world, the one that they picked as a group. There are fantasy metals that have a good reaction with magic. Maybe. I like the idea that magic is sort of anti-metal across the board, unless you're really good at, like... I think there is a magic and metal... Hold on. What happens? Magic... Where's metal? No, there isn't any point where magic and metal, like, create a thing. But, they're adjacent here with necromancy and the forge. The forge is here, and the forge goes to, like, alchemy, which... has a bit of, like, you know, life in it. Why is it life? Oh, alchemy and doctors. So it's like craftsmen and life. The life craftsmen are doctors and alchemists and things like that. Anyway, the point is that there might be some magic metals, but that would have to be a thing that had to be created. I like The Chosen. Yeah. I would like to take the Chosen as a name and then, like, translate it into something, and then so it sounds like a name, but it means the chosen. I like that idea a lot, though. I do like the chosen. Let's go with that. Let's go with the chosen and see Deus Electus or Electus Dei. I kind of like the syllable count here. I'm gonna keep looking at other I'm going to look at other, because at the time when the gods exist, they don't consider themselves gods, right? They just are the people. Like, when they find the planet, they're the only people that exist. And so it's just their chosen planet or whatever. Eventually, the gods get around to making mortals, just kind of for fun. And we can go look over here. So, technically the gods actually... Vivesia has a reproduction problem. Crazy for the goddess of life, right? She has a lot of quote-unquote children. They're not really children, but, like, you can see how many lines are coming off of Vivesia. You have, like, the god of the sun, alchemy, doctors, agriculture, what else? Fucking nature and animals, and then we come over here, you have sleep and dreams and love and sex, because sex is necessary for life, for, like, reproduction reasons for immortals. And then over here you have, like, she's also the goddess, like, basically the mother of all these other patron gods, and these are patron gods of actually, they're not really patron gods, are they? They're ancestor gods. Whoa. Which are they're not actually gods. They are, I mean, they are now, but they were the first of every, like, type of ancestry that was naturally birthed. you know? So like Grimgi is the father of all dwarves. He's the first dwarf that exists. Or Grumaketh, the mother of all orcs. She's the first orc to exist. And all of them sort of get deified by their own species. And so it's a thing over here. So Vivesia has a lot going on. So there was a reason I brought this up. I was explaining something. Yes, they don't think they're gods. They create these people, they create these mortals, and just kind of like, oh, I'm going to create a, like, when you go home and you craft a little, like, doll or something, not that you would craft a doll, but you know what I mean? Like, someone would, in the 1500s, would have nothing to do, so they get straw, and they get, like, little scraps of cloth, and they craft themselves a little doll and play with it. That's kind of what happened here. Vivesia just kind of a bunch of mortals out. So they weren't gods until suddenly they were. So I wouldn't have, so that's what I'm trying to say. So I would avoid like the god chosen because they don't consider themselves gods. It is just their chosen planet. But I really like the idea of from Edwin, where it's like the gods are naming the planet, not the people. And I really like the idea of it being just the chosen. That's what I'm trying to say. I do like the idea of it being chosen, and yeah. So Google Translate has added way too many fucking languages. What the fuck is Shan? Whoa! That's crazy. Bosnian. No, not chosen. Breton? That's a real language? Breton is a Celtic language spoken in Brittany region of France. Huh! Elder Scrolls rot has me. Okay. What is China's? Oh, that's long. That's so long. Skip that one. VOD, Dutch. How do I fucking say that? The Uitverkorene. Esperanto? Electa. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I forgot our Esperanto is mostly Latin-based. Ilus? Ooh, wait. Hold on. Please hold. Hold on. I gotta find the alt code for this. That's what I want. Whoa. Elus. Elus is French for chosen. How would I even say that? How is that said? Les élus. I wouldn't call it élu though. That's an idea. It's simple and nice sound. It sounds nice. I'm gonna keep going through for other languages, but that's high on my high on my list right now. Aus erwähnen. No, thank you. If the gods named it, maybe it's Defteros. Let's see how the players react if they know what it means. Second, might be the second try. The gods try and cultivate a world, and it might just be the second rock from the sun. Oh, like it's the second time, like the second world that they tried to create. That's funny too. I like that, like naming it Secundus. You know, like literally, like this is the second one. Don't ask about the first. Or we could go very deep into the number. It's not the second one. It's like the seventh. Like this, the world is Septimus. You know, like hold on. I'm gonna write that down as an idea too. Septimus, Secundus. I don't think that's how it's spelled, but no, but it would get the point across. Tertius. That's definitely not how that's spelled. T-E-R. T-E-R-T-I-U-S. Tertius. And they disappear because they've moved on. Oh my god. That's fucking funny. See, the one problem then is then there's be no reason for the ancestors to leave too. Like the ancestor gods who sort of have become apotheosized by people. I like Secundus. That's really fun, and it sounds like a place. Secundus, and it's Latin not only for second, but it also means lucky. Yeah. I like the idea. I like that idea. The Electus, or like Elus Secundus, or Electus Secundus. I like Elus. Secundelus? Secundalus. No, I like Secundus just by itself, honestly. I'm trying to be like the second chosen, but this is hilarious. I really like the idea this is not their first planet. Septimus is also high on my list. What do you guys think is funnier? That it's the second planet or it's the seventh, you know? You do Quintus, Octavius, Decimus, you know, Secundus, Septimus, Decimus, Octavius. Both can work depending on the story you want to tell. That's true. Because second is like, yeah, that's the problem. That's why I'm like asking. Because like, it being the second world makes it go, okay, they tried once, something went really wrong, and then they tried again. Like, they just had one problem. The seventh world feels like they keep trying and it keeps fucking up, and they just have to, they're like, fucking, we gotta keep doing this. Like the Feywild. That's not a bad idea. Like all the other, because I have a bunch of existing, where are they? Locations, divine domains. So I have a lot of divine domains. And some of them are, divine domains are interior sections to the divine planes. So, and also you'll notice if you play Warhammer at all, you'll notice I have stolen some of these, like Akshi, the plane of fire. Don't pay attention to that. Anyway, the point is, a lot of these planes then have interior domains of the smaller gods. And I am thinking more about planes as in like literal planes of Oblivion style kind of thing, where it's like, oh, this is Cold Harbor. This is, you know, what are some of the other fucking planes of Oblivion? I only remember Cold Harbor. Planes of Oblivion names. I need my examples. Apocrypha, Apocrypha, Moonshadow, Cold Harbor, the Evergloam, the Pits, things like that, you know? And I prefer lower when there can be, it is not the god's first attempt, or we are number X planet from the sun. Yeah, that's true. We might have a lot of planets. I was thinking it is a lot of planets, and every time they start over, they start in a new solar system completely far away from whatever planet they've fucked up. Because it leaves room for players to eventually find Unis or Tertius or whatever. It kind of reminds me of, have you guys ever played Final Fantasy XIV? In Final Fantasy XIV, there's this idea of there being different worlds that are split from the main world. Mild spoilers, but not huge. Where you have the main, what they call the source, which is the original world in the world you're from, and then all the others are like the first, the second, the seventh. Like there's literally like other planes of existence that are split off from the main source world, and some of those worlds have become completely fucked. Like, one of them, it has turned into what they call the Void, which is where all these, like, demon-y sort of things come from. But it was a shard of the world that just got, like, destroyed, essentially. Yeah, I lean towards something like Septimus, because it gives me more options to be like, oh, do you want to know what happened to the other worlds? Like, oh, Secundus is fine, but, Octavius is the new one? Like, you know. I like Septimus a lot, too. I think that's it. I think that's what I'm doing. Septimus? Yeah. Because it's like Secundus. People might not know. I mean, people know that Sept is 7, but it does feel more like there's a different reason. Yeah. That's completely fair. And that's why I was asking if it would be funnier if it was 7th, because I was like, if it's 7th, then it's a bigger, like, what the fuck is happening? Yes. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to write about it being the 7th attempt in this, because I think I might publish this article eventually to my players. Excuse me. Or I might. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do about it. I'm going to write this down for now. The 7th world, the gods have abandoned. I do like the idea of they all disappeared because they left. They didn't die. They weren't erased. They weren't bound. They just left. Like, they're like, we're done with this one. Let's go to Octavius, you know? Let's move on. I like that idea a lot. Yeah. They got bored. Yeah. They got bored. Something went wrong. Maybe this one was too generic fantasy for them. I don't know. We don't know the reason. I don't know if I know the reason, but they did leave at some point, and they've left for Octavius, which is a whole nother place. And they left a long time ago. At least in the mortal lifespan, they left a long time ago. Maybe to them, they just sort of peeled away. But I'm gonna expand the time that they've been gone. God's gone for... Is 1,000 years too much time? No, it's not. Because 2,000 years, we still have written history from 2,000 years ago. Now, we've written history from longer, actually. So, like the BCE stuff. So let's go. Let's pull a Warhammer. 10,000 years. Done. 10 fucking thousand years. 8th world sci-fi. No, I mean, honestly, you're joking? Maybe. They might give them more technology as an idea kind of thing. And my one might be more cyberpunk. The point is the alternate worlds give me ideas, gives me abilities to let players see visions in places that are so unlike their own. You know? Oh my god. My brain's churning. Oh my god, my brain's churning. I have 2 other games I'm running, and they are... Sorry, I'm gonna have to explain this for a second. Some of the gods might have agreed on limits being put on them for this world to prevent problems like they had on Tertius, where the god of necromancy just had anything that died rises undead. Yeah. Or like, hey, let's not do, you know, let's not do tree people this time or something, you know, like that didn't work out well or whatever. Or let's limit their technology this time around because in Sextus it went bad and they nuked themselves. You know, whatever. Like, every world can have a different reason they left. And for 10,000 years, if I give them 10,000 years of being gone, it means there can be more than Octavius at this point. We could have we'll be 9. Ninth. Nonivus? Oh, so I was skip 9th. Slimes are too OP, it turned Quartum into slime. It's funny. Yeah, exactly. And each one gives me an opportunity to pull stuff from there. In fact, there's a fucking idea. Hold on, sorry. I'm getting too many ideas at once. This was a great idea, thank you. So my 2 other games, I got distracted. My 2 other games that I'm running a like noir style detective thriller thing, but it's still fantasy. And I'm running a cowboy fantasy game, and they're both on the same planet. So the noir game takes place in the city, or the Silver City, and is the only city on the planet. Think like a hive city. It's huge, it's massive, and the rest of the planet is a desert wasteland, and the desert wasteland is where the cowboy stuff is happening. All the cowboy stuff people, they're told that the city is an awful place that you shouldn't go to, and the city people are told that the cowboy place is an awful Mad Max hellscape that you should never go to. So they avoid each other, basically. It would be really funny if it turned out that the world that they're both on is one of these failed worlds. Like, it is all connected. I could really fuck with my players because they're going to be the same people, roughly the same people. To be like, oh, you mean Secundus? Secundus is it turned into a desert wasteland, and they like built one giant city, you know, and just leave it there for them, like basically priests except no vampires. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up. Do you have a link? Oh, I don't know if it'll let you send links. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, so the general idea is that I can make them one of the failed worlds. The other idea I just had, so there's, if we look at the playable ancestries they have. So I gotta explain another thing. This game is designed to be played in Matt Colville's Draw Steel, which is a new game system that's still being produced. Like it's done. They're just working on the book right now. I have the playtest material, so I could run the game right now, but I'm waiting a little bit till the official book comes out that I got with my Kickstarter or backer kit, whatever. Yeah, so I'm waiting on that, and once I do have that, I can run this game. So it's not going to be 5e. But I took the races that were provided to me in Draw Steel, and I remade them, and I made one extra for myself using the Draw Steel system, essentially. So you have them over here. I have little icons next to them. So you have the undead, which are basically anyone who is a sentient undead. They're very rare, honestly, but they do exist. You have, and this is usually when necromancy goes wrong, you usually don't want to bring the soul back, you just want to bring the body back. Occasionally, a soul gets shoved into a body, or it's just a soul that's loose. Undead, bad. Or sentient undead is always a mistake. You have orcs, because they're orcs, you know, basically what you'd expect, I think. Did I write anything about them? No. A lot of these don't have anything written about them here. I read about them in the start here step by step, where it's like, choose your ancestry, and then it's like, the Ancestries PDF, where you go here and you talk about all the ancestry. It's a whole thing. Anyway, the point is, I have regular ancestries. The Makari are like, sort of Warforged robots. They're a little thinner looking. What else is weird? Giantkin, anything that's Giantkin, Dragonkin, any Lizardkin or Dragon Folk or whatever, all of that goes into Dragonkin. I did a lot of like, I made it so it's possible to play D&D 5e with this system too, where I took the existing races like the Dragonkin and the whatever, the Beastkin, Celestials, and I just mushed them into like all the other D&D stuff. So like the Celestials here, that includes Tiefling and Aasimar. Like it is anything that is like of celestial nature, put into one. Beastkin is every type of humanoid animal race for 5e. So like Kenku and Aarakocra and Tabaxi, and they're all the same ancestry essentially. And so I made it so you could use 5e as a system and still play with the in-world system. But it is meant for Draw Steel. The Beastkin was the one I created myself because I know people always want to play the Tabaxi or whatever. But there is one called the Aetherkin, which is their version. I call it Aetherkin. I don't remember what they called it, but it's their version of Githyanki, essentially. And they're aliens. No one knows where they're from. Here, if we go to the start here, go to the Ancestors PDF, Aetherkin. Mysterious people have no known origin. Called Aetherkin because they seem to have come out of thin air sometime in the last 500 years. I said 50. I'm expanding the time frame of my thing. What I'm thinking is potentially a portal opened up to another one of the failed planets, and the Aetherkin are actually from like Sextus or Unus or something. Like Aetherkin are from one of the failed planets, which you just like the person who was like, oh, they did. Who was it? Who said that? I think it was Edwin. Was it Edwin or was it Dice or was it Andy? Who was like, hey, it's their second fucking. Just because they moved on, that was Andy. The chosen, God chosen, the first something. Aetherkin should arrive after the gods have left. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Aetherkin show up after the gods have disappeared by a lot. It's like 500 worlds, the gods have been gone for 10,000 years? Or do you think they should have been around for 10,000 years at this point? I don't know, I want them to be still relatively new to the worlds. People still aren't so sure about them, but 500 years in fantasy time, and like fantasy D&D stuff, is not a lot of time. Because there are races that live for a very long time, you know? Like if we go back to the Ancestries PDF, like, you know, Celestials can live up to 120 years. Beastkin live up to fucking 50. Beastkin don't live very long. That's another thing. Where is it? Like a dwarf. A dwarf can live up to 1,500 years, right? Like, 700 is the youngest a dwarf dies from old age. They have a big range. Therefore, like, 500 years isn't that much. It's just, like, they've shown up in the lifetime of some of these dwarves, you know? I like the... Ooh, you're asking good questions. They're from the first world and slowly conquering the rest of the worlds the gods left behind. Or they're from one of the other created worlds, or they come from a place where life evolves without gods. Okay, you're making this hard to decide, both of you. First world. Okay, so the idea of their conquering is interesting. Because it implies that they are going through them sequentially, which means all the rest have been conquered. And that takes, and while I like that idea, it takes away my ability to have interesting things happening too much in the other worlds, because it's like, oh, they're all going to be Aetherkin focused, you know? So I like that idea. Good. I'm going to put that aside for now. Let's see. Then what's the next one was? They're coming from one of the creative worlds. Yeah, that was the same thing. So that's also still on the table. Creative world. They're from the first world. I like them being from the first world, though. I think no matter what, they're from the first... No, not no matter what. If they are from a created world, they're from the first world. They're migrating to follow the gods. Oh, okay. So you've just provided... Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm shaking my head. I got too many ideas rolling around in here. Rejected the gods from the start. Okay. Which is what got them starting new worlds. It's a good idea, too. Yeah, so you give me two really diametrically opposed ideas, and I love them both. One, they're chasing the gods. They're moving from world to world chasing the gods. Or they come from a place without gods. Thinking it through. I'm gonna go with they evolve from a world that doesn't have gods. And one of the gods just teleported some there or something. Like, I don't know how they got there exactly, but I like the idea of them being from a world without the gods. Because that gives the world a people who aren't even reverential to the gods at all. They're just like, I don't know this shit. I don't know anything about these gods. I don't care. And then the few that do convert or whatever are interesting because mostly as a people, they're pretty atheistic, you know, because they never had gods. Also, that being said, I did have the original thing about the, about the Aetherkin is even they don't know where they came from, is what I was thinking. Like, Aetherkin show up out of nowhere. They don't know where they came from. They literally don't know. And they have psychic abilities and whatever. The way they came here might mess with memory. Okay. Even members of the Aetherkin have no memory of where they originated. Yeah. Okay. I like this. How did they get here? That's the question. So they got here. Portal could work. A crack in reality could work. Would any of these gods fuck with people like that? Yes. Zelios definitely would do that shit. Just drop people in for no fucking reason. Valeria could do it. She would definitely want to do it for the sake of like, oh, we could start a war. A little war. What else do we have? So my brain just went on such a hard tangent right there. I started thinking about, like, what if it wasn't gods? What if it was technology? And then I started thinking about, well, they could also do apotheosis in the same way that all the Dwemer in the Elder Scrolls achieved Chim. And then I started thinking about Chim. I was really my brain was going on a fucking launch. Do you guys know about Chim? Sorry, I'm gonna do a quick side note. Do you guys know about Chim or Shim? It's like Chim. It's an idea in the Elder Scrolls lore that sometimes random people will just see into the matrix of the world and realize that they're living in a dream. Because, spoiler alert, not really a spoiler, but all of Elder Scrolls and everything that's happened is living in one person's dream. So, I think Nirnroot has something to do with that. It's like the connection to the dreamer or something. Anyway, the point is, Elder Scrolls is a dream, and there are people who realize this. And when they realize it, they achieve what's called chim, and once they realize that it's a dream, they can manipulate the dream, and they can literally change the world. So it canonizes the player using console commands. The player in every Elder Scrolls game at some point achieves chim, and is able to see into the fabric of reality and change it and modify it to their thing. So console commands, save scumming, like when you're and like there's this idea, or like mods. All of that is the player character having achieved chim and being able to adjust the world to their liking. There's also this idea of I forgot what it's called, but there's like a creature or something, or a thing that shuts the dream down if it's been changed too much by someone, which is canonizing the idea that your game will crash if you have too many mods in it. Like, this is all stuff that's actually in the canon and the lore, and I think that's really fun and cool. Anyway, the method of traversing the worlds requires them to be rebirthed, so it's always the same ones, but they only have echoes of their past lives and a vague instinct that compels them to follow the gods. Okay. Oh, that's fascinating. We're a race with... That's crazy. That's a really cool idea, Edwin. I like that a lot. I can't steal it for this world, but I do like that idea. Could be a fun idea for a one-shot, actually. Not here. Hold on, let me open my other notes. Give me a second. Notes. I'm stealing that for a one-shot idea. Like give people a bunch of characters that already are... Like, I pre-make characters for them, and they don't have any memory. And it's like an underworld thing. I like that a lot. Okay. Anyway, back to this. What were we thinking about? Septimus, seventh world, 10,000 years. So Aetherkin are from... Let's say the Aetherkin are... They evolved outside of the gods. They do travel worlds. They're explorers. And they do it... How do they do it? Okay. Hear me out. They send colony ships. They have technology that's like I say ships as in ships, but like they don't fly anywhere. They just stay in one place and shift. Maybe a shift, not a ship. I'm getting my shift. They send a colony ship to new worlds that shifts across dimensions, and there are dimensional anchors in the ship that keep them grounded, keep them remembering who they are, remembering what they're doing. Because if they break while they're traversing through, let's say it's one of these planes, maybe they just choose a random plane, or they do it through like the plane of, let's say the plane of, well, they do it through the plane of chaos, right? Sort of like warp travel in Warhammer. They travel through the plane of chaos. They, and in that process, there's like personality anchors, dimensional anchors, or whatever, that keep them in themselves, in their own brains. But something went wrong with this particular ship, and the anchors broke. Or, yeah, something went wrong. Maybe they were sabotaged. It doesn't matter exactly. Something went wrong is all we really need. And when they arrived on the other side, they had no memory of who they were, where they came from. They just now existed here. And perhaps even the anchor breaking shattered the ship in a way that made it so they just suddenly appeared everywhere across the world. Like, they weren't just like in one place together. They were just like, now suddenly there's, you know, a population of 1,000 Aetherkin just about out of nowhere. And that happened, you know, let's say 9,000 years ago. No, I want them to be sort of new still. That's right. 500 years ago. 500 years ago, something happened and it just appeared randomly. Everyone remembers them literally appearing out of thin air, which is why they're called Aetherkin. Aether, as in air. Anyway, the method of traversing the worlds requires them to be rebirthed. No, we read that. There we go. I once had a campaign where there was a race, or people of that race would just appear. Oh, no, we already read that. How am I reading that again? Basically, the illithid, except without the brain eating. Is that how that works? I didn't know that's how that worked. Yeah, honestly, they are very illithid-like. If we go back to the ancestries, they have like psychic abilities and stuff, and they have 4 arms. That's one of their things. They look like Goro. They're like, you know, Green skin, 4 arms. And some sort of strange skin color like green or red. They get like tiefling colors. But yeah. Okay, I like that. I'll write that down. Let's go to the actual Aetherkin page. From a planet untouched by the gods, shifted here through a ship of some kind. What's a fancy way to say personality? Gestalt? No. What's a looking it up. Personality synonyms. Character. The something anchor. The visage anchor. The persona anchor. The persona anchor. Thank you. The persona anchor fails. Actually, this is not just persona. It's also anchoring the ship into a function of reality. So I'm just gonna call it the dimensional anchor, and that might change. Fails, and the ship scatters the Aetherkin across Septimus. Scatters the Aetherkin across Septimus without any memory. Just writing that down for myself so I don't forget. We'll actually fill this out properly later. Truth anchor. Ooh, I like truth. Reality anchor. What's another... I like anchor, that's for sure. So I'm looking at like truth synonyms, reality synonyms. Nothing good here that I'm seeing. Okay, what is that word? An intellectia. That's a I don't even know how to say that. Wait, the word is coming to me. Mnemonic anchor? That's more about memory, but it could be a memory anchor that fails. It's just called the mnemonic anchor. That's what I was trying to say. Mnemonic. That was the word that was on the tip of my tongue this whole fucking time. Yeah. I like that for now. If you have any other ideas, keep throwing them out, but I'm going to move on. We want to, today... I want to know what the back fucking... What's your backlink? Shibla. Okay. The Sunbound. Oh, that's a person. Okay, see, that's the kind of thing. I need to reorganize stuff. I need to set it all up. I need to type some things. But first, I need food. I need to go to the little bird's room. So we'll be right back. I'm going to do a little break. It's going to be about 5-ish minutes, if I had to guess. Probably a little less. I will see you guys in a second. I'm going to run an ad while that's happening, so... yeah, sorry about that, but also you're just going to be looking at a BR back screen anyway. So we'll be right back. I'll see you in a second. Hello. I'm back. One sec. There it is. Hello, hello. I haven't made my food yet. I mean, I made my food, but I was taking too long to cook, so I'm just gonna eat it while we talk. So apologize if you hear me eating a cup of noodle, because that's what I decided I was gonna have for my nutritious lunch today. I mean, don't worry. I had other things too. It just wasn't cooked. Like a protein bar, so I'm not hurting on the fucking protein or carbs at the moment. And I will probably have my leftover salad later. Excuse me. Welcome back. Okay, our goal now... My cat smells like soup. He wants to come see it. Our goal now is to fill out stuff. Fill out stuff that we... I'd like to hide this, please. Can I remove this? Remove back... There we go. I will come back to that. I want to go down the list and fill out, you know... Oh, wait, I want to add to this. Chris. You know, I want a name for the campaign. We'll get there eventually. I don't need to name that right now. I want to go through and, you know, fill out the sections that need to be filled out. Like, there's nothing about the elemental air or elemental fire or whatever. You think I wouldn't have to write much about that? But I want to have it all filled out, basically. So I want to go through and not make any new articles, or if I have to make new articles to fill it out, I do. But for the most part, I'm going to try and keep it, you know, just filling out what we got. Hey, Canadian, what's up, dude? My cat is fighting me for my noodles. He wants them so bad. They're mine. You're allergic to chicken. You don't want these. Okay. Air. The elemental... The primal element of air. What do you want to say about the primal element of air? Cat, M denied, so what? It's so true. Also, cats being predators, any protein smell, they want it. Have you guys ever had a problem where a cat has, like, chewed apart your headphones or chewed apart your, like, earbuds or something? I've talked about this and it's really gross, so if you're eating, don't listen for a second. But, basically, the earwax smells like protein. So the cat goes, there's protein on this here earbud, and starts trying to eat it. And so, like, anytime there's anything protein related, cheese, that's why they like milk so much. It's very fatty, very full, very protein rich. So, like, cheese, milk, meat of any kind. Chocolate is part of why they hunt after chocolate too, even though it's bad for them, because it has a sort of, it has a similar smell to them, as like protein specific stuff. It's interesting. They're weird little guys. Like, dog want to eat because you eat. Cat want to eat because smell like meat. Yeah, exactly. It's like the fat in it, and they're like, I want that. Is it into just protein they're after? They're after fats and things too. Like any good predator. It's the same reason we like a nice fatty meats thing. Is we're also a predator like that, where we're like, ooh, fuck yeah, a steak with some, like, some fat marbled into it, ooh. Like, we claim we like it because of the texture, but, like, we like the texture because we like the material. Does your cat ever lick into your ear? No, doesn't. But I wouldn't let him get that close to my face. He's a little gross weirdo. No, I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know. I think it's the difference between, oh, you have protein on you. They don't want to eat your protein on you. Like in your person, on your person, is like, oh, that's that person's meat smell. That they are made of meat. They smell like meat or whatever. They're not gonna eat you unless you're dead. You're alive though. They're not gonna eat you. But if they are, but once it's an inanimate object or an object that feels like it's dead or not part of you or whatever, like the earbuds, they'll go after that kind of shit. But some cats probably are weirdos and do try and lick people's ears. Okay, I want to write about the primal elements of air, but I don't know what to say. Everyone knows what this is. None of these are weird. None of these are like, oh, the primal element of Schmeagol. It's not like, oh, I don't know what that is. I might just write this. So if anyone like mouses over it, clicks on it, it's like, yeah, like, oh, that's the primal element of air. Okay. Actually, and I said primal. I gotta decide between primal or primordial. Or like basic. What? Is there a better word than primal to be like a basic building block of existence? Elemental, yeah. The elemental element of air, though, does not have the same, like... yeah, the elemental element. Foundational. That's perfect. I was looking through various fucking sources again. I love the word foundational. The foundational element of air. Excellent. Well, does air work the same way on your world as does on Earth? Or does the god of air not like having a pressure gradient, and is the air breathable even on the highest mountains? It's the same as Earth. I'm gonna be lazy. Too much thinking. Cardinal is good too. I like foundational. I think it's my favorite so far. Because it indicates that it's like a foundational element of the universe, you know? Which is kind of what I want for everything. What drives the driving force for all types of gases the magical base to all types of gases. How do I fucking put this? I did say gases. The base to all types of gas. I'm gonna say the base. Remember when Pumbaa said the stars were a big ball of gas? We laughed as kids and we thought he was making a fart joke. You know what? You're right. I never thought about it. He is wrong, though. Not in like a conspiracy theory, the sky isn't real kind of way, but like Pumbaa saying that the sun is made of, or the stars are gas, was the common knowledge or the common idea in the 90s when The Lion King was made. But we now know they're made of plasma, not gas. In fact, there's a song by They Might Be Giants about the sun. Whoops, hello. And the lyrics were originally, "The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace. and they've changed it in the last 10 years because they've of the new things we found out. What was the new lyrics? I'm looking it up. What's up? Plasma is just gas that drank too much coffee. Yes, it changed from the sun is a mass of incandescent gas to the sun is a miasma of incandescent plasma. Like, they changed the lyrics for every other recording after we found out. So yeah, that's the thing with that. I think I'm gonna leave it simple for this. I don't think I need a lot of info on the elemental sound effect. I'm gonna copy this and just do the same pattern of like elemental, the fundamental element of chaos, the base state of the universe when left alone. You know, stuff like that. What it is exactly, and then what that means. Of darkness. This entails the absence of light. No, entails. I'm gonna get so fancy. This is the absence, I know I spelled wrong, light anywhere you find it. Death. The foundational element of, I'm gonna actually say, entropy. Because death is sort of entropy in a way. Like the death of the universe is the entropy, whatever. Yeah, man. Was to mortals as well as the foundation to the universe. Okay, Earth. The foundational element of Earth. This includes soil, dirt, rocks, etc. Okay. You've played Golden Sun, right? I have not. I know you have. I know you did, Golden Sun, Archipelago, too. They represent their elements with planets. That's cool. Final Fantasy XIV kind of does the same thing a little bit. Not intentionally based on the planets, like... But there are elemental planets that have, like, fall into one element, essentially. That's fun. Earth, fire. The foundational element of fire. Or any form of hot combustion, including things like plasma. Foundational element of light. The opposite of dark. A place where vision and life is possible. Life. You're right, it does say life. Well, I'm gonna steal this. Put it back. The foundation element of life. You are so right. I just read light on the next one. The foundational element of life. The... Let's see. The basis for all living creatures. Yeah, there we go. Light, done. Okay, magic. Proving that no joke I make is original. It's fucking funny. I didn't realize the joke. I thought you were just telling me legitimately about the lore of fucking that game, the fucking Golden Sun. Okay, magic. The foundational element of magic or anything unexplainable through anything unexplainable or inexplicable, as well as the ability to shape reality to a more desirable state. Metal, the foundational element of metal. This includes both unsmelted ores and fully wrought creations made of metal. It has elements of both earth and order in it. I'm gonna tag these. Okay. Order. Unrefined. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Unrefined. Appreciate you. Alright, order. The foundational element of order. When one imposes their will on a naturally chaotic universe. Actually, that's just it. When one imposes their will on a naturally chaotic universe. Water. Foundational element of water. This encompasses all liquids, but water is the natural base for many of those liquids. Water. When things get wet, it's because of water. Cool. It's just a little bit of a writing here, so that if someone is, let's say, over here looking at Mortale, the god of death, they'll see lore domain. Oh, it's not literally listed right now. Where does this go? Oh, why did this get tagged? That's his name. That shouldn't be tagged. But like, let's say we're in read mode. Actually, let's make this a tag. Okay. So go to read mode. We can mouse over this, and it'll be like, oh, that's the foundational element of entropy. This applies to all mortals, as well as the very foundation of the universe. So we don't need a whole article for everything. Some things just get a couple of words, so that when you mouse over them while you're reading about it, it just gives you a little read through. You can click it, but it is meant to be like just a sort of like quick mouse over. So yeah, I love Obsidian. It's so cool. Like these, I can be like, what's this? And it does mean at the top of every article, you want to make a very clear summary of what the thing is, basically. If you can help it. Like here, Necrosar. Who's that? The goddess of necromancy. Okay, I see. And then you can scroll through this like highlighted thing, so you don't have to go actually to the thing. And this all works if I were to publish it into like a readable format on a website. It just auto does it for me. It's so nice. Oh, I need to learn how to use Obsidian. It's so worth it. Now, it's free, however, publishing your thing and also saving to the cloud, you do have to pay for separately. So saving to the cloud is one price. Publishing is a different price. I am not publishing anything right now, but I probably will do some of that when I get a chance. It's pretty cheap, if I remember correctly. I did try it out for a month just to fuck around with it, and it was like $3, $5. Like, it was something I was like, oh, okay. But the paying for the backing up of the stuff is really useful for me because I have lost all my notes before when I had a hard drive die. So this way, it's always backed up. Do you know what it's like? You know what? Yeah, I had that happen before. It sucks. Yeah, it does. It's awful. It's like, if you've used World Anvil, it's kind of like World Anvil in that it has a lot of the same features as World Anvil with a little bit less, like, gloss. You kind of have to do it manually. It's like, instead of being handed a board game that is ready to, or instead of being handed the tools, like here's a custom, like here's a board you can draw on, here's a marker, here's some cards you can write on, like giving you tools to make a board game, which is World Anvil. Obsidian is like, here's some paper. You want to make a board that you can write on? There's cardboard in the garage. Like, go make it. You know? Like, it's very much like you can do all of those things. However, you are going to have to make it. The plus side being getting most of it through is free. So, minus the syncing up if you want to sync it up. But it doesn't even mean, excuse me, it does mean my notes are synced across all my devices though. So I just bring my iPad to D&D, and my iPad is my DM screen. I just have my notes there. Okay, we're just gonna go down the list. See if there's anything I've not written about. So we have calendar, historical events, the Ebon expeditions, something expeditions that started in 1210, ended in 1215, that attempted to open the Ebon Gate. That's not written about yet. But this is actually a one shot I'm gonna run soon to test the lore and see if people find it interesting, like the world itself. So we run back here real fast. This is a one shot right here from Necropoli to King's Rest, the two capitals of both, you know, Mortale and Avalon. There's a place called the Ebon Gate, which is right here, and it is essentially a pass through that is incredibly dangerous. It's big enough for caravans to go through, and it is so dangerous that people are more willing to brave the soul wastes than the Ebon Gate. But if they can clear, if the one shot can clear the Ebon Gate from like monsters and traps and things and make it safe, then people can avoid the soul wastes entirely and just go directly between these two for trade. What I'm going to do though for the one shot is basically, it's not a guaranteed win. My players wanted a really hard dungeon crawl one shot. That's why this exists. So I'm setting it in the past a little bit, and they are basically deciding the past on whether or not the Ebon Gate is open in the world that we know, you know? So, yeah. In the world that comes later, is the Ebon Gate open? Is there trade between Avalon and Mortale, excuse me? Not Mortale. Mortale's the god. Is there trade between Avalon and fucking Mortaris? God, my brain is shutting down. And they find that out through, we determine that through this one shot. And what changes about that is that if there's trade between Mortaris and Avalon, they're going to be a little kinder to each other. Like, they're going to be a little more like, oh, you're just doing your thing, you're just doing your thing. Because Avalon's like weirdly religious. They have like inquisitions and stuff. It's scary. And they're a little more tolerant of each other. But if there's no trade, like they can't get to each other unless they go through the soul waste or something, or they have to pay the exorbitant fines to go around through Artuga, they're just not going to be friendly at all. It can be very, very much like Screw those people over there. They're crazy. Like, they don't interact with them, so they see them as just, like, crazy barbarians doing crazy necromancy or killing people over religion, you know? Whatever it is. So this one shot determines whether or not this goes through. What I'm saying about that is, I'm not going to write anything here because I have nothing to write yet. This one actually needed a name. I think it's the god... It's one of the young gods. I think it is. I think it's, Zelios? See the one with this holiday? Yes. A joint holiday with Zeroth. So Zelios and Zeroth. Zeroth is the god of fear, and Zelios is the god of lies, trickery, and illusion. They have a joint holiday for Halloween, kind of thing. So I wanted to make a Halloween replacement that is very much about, like, you know, putting on masks and being silly. And in fact, if I go back to Zelios, like I mentioned, the holiday is less about fear nowadays and more about an evening of dressing up and eating sweets. So very much just Halloween. But originally was, you know, in the history of this holiday was about, like, oh, watch out, be afraid, there's scary things out in the world. Remember, you know, don't go out into the forest at night or you'll see a spooky witch. We'll call it... I want to make it really obvious that it's Halloween. Gallows Eve. It sounds like All Hallows Eve, but it's Gallows Eve. Yeah, I'm lazy. We're going with that. Gallows Eve. As in, like, the fear you would feel on the eve of being hung. There we go. Okay. That sounds good. Heck yeah. Okay. Gallows Eve. A holiday that once centered around reminding small children that there were many things to be afraid of in the world. This is a silly holiday, but inspired by, or not inspired by, dedicated originally to the god of fear, Zeroth. Dedicated originally to the god of fear, Zeroth. People would adults would dress up as monsters, and send children out into the forests. There, they would scare them and chase them back to the village. Basically, Christmas, but with trauma. A holiday that once centered around reminding small children that there are many things to be afraid of in the world. Dedicated originally to the god of fear, Zeroth, adults would dress up as monsters and send children out into the forests. There, they would scare them and chase them back to the village. Eventually, this tradition morphed into children dressing up as either monsters or heroes that they admired, and going door to door, acquiring sweets like Raisin bread. How do you spell fucking raisin? Raisin. Why can't I spell it raisin? Okay, it's I-N. What the fuck English word is spelled S-I-N like that? Oh, sin. Okay. I'm gonna shut up now. Like raisin bread. Or what's some other shitty fucking... Or honey. Look, medieval times, they don't have good candy. They don't have good candy, they don't have good sweets. It's like, what kind of candy do you have there, child? It's like, I stuck a stick in a beehive and I'm licking it. Like, that's the kind of shit we're working with. What are your question marks about? You disagree with me? I'd love to see some evidence to back that shit up. Honey ginger? Ooh, that's nice. That's not a bad idea. Honeyed nuts. Nuts are big in candy from the old time. Come on, there's plenty of old-timey sweets. As long as you have sugar anyways. Yeah. Where are they going to get sugar? Sugar only grows in Artuga. And that's expensive. Sugar? No, if you want something sweet, you got to eat like honey. You got to eat like an apple, an orange, perhaps. Raisin bread. In fact, orange is a great example. Honeyed nuts. Or an orange. Like, they had sweets, old-timey sweets, sure, but like those are even the candy from 100 years ago, like the 1900s, is still really bad. It's not good. They had not figured it out yet. Our candy is too good. It is unfortunate. So yes, but like old candy before sugar is something that like everyone has ready access to. Pretty much only nobles here have access to sugar, and so anyone that's in a village, they're not gonna have sugar. They're gonna have raisin bread. They're gonna have honey nuts. I put an orange in there because my family is immigrants from Germany, and so we do Christmas a little differently. But one of the things, I mean, it's still an American style Christmas, but one of the things we do differently is that the big thing that goes in the stocking, it's like, oh, your stocking has some candy or whatever, but the big important thing is a singular orange. It's just one big orange because like it was quote unquote nature's candy or whatever, and it was also, they were rare and hard to get during the various wars Germany was in. So like the tradition is like, you've gotten this very rare special thing, this orange, make this orange last all day, all Christmas, you know? So yeah, that's what I'm just like, orange. Yeah. Honey, fruits. So yeah, I'm putting the orange in there as a reference to my own family traditions. Although eventually we did change it from an orange to a chocolate orange, and honestly, I prefer the orange. I don't really like chocolate oranges. I think they're gross. But a regular orange? Fuck yeah, I'll eat the shit out of that. Honey nuts are an orange. Yeah. This backlogged, or it changed its name, didn't it? Yes, it did. I love this, by the way. The reason why it was all caps called Halloween Replacement as the title of the thing was so that when I changed the name up here, it would just go across everything I wrote and change the name automatically. So now it's just called Gallows Eve. I don't have to like replace it anywhere. Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna keep it at that. That way, when you're on, let's say Zeroth, you're in read mode. You're like, there's a joint holiday with Zelius called Gallows Eve. What's that? Oh, do a little read about it. Move on. It's great. Love this shit. Okay, close that out. Characters. Non-player characters. Oh, right. More stolen stuff from Warhammer. Archon. Archon is the current leader of... fucking... I can't remember names at all right now. I'm gonna close the gods because I've written everything about the gods. I've already filled those out. Archon is the current leader of Mortaris. The Grand Necromancer, I think, is his official title. Grand Necromancer Archon, yeah. The current leader of Mortaris. And often touted as proof of Mortaris's and often touted as proof of Mortaris's oh god, what's that called when it's an actual society where you can actually move up in society? It's like a somethingocracy. Metocracy? Mediocracy? No, not mediocrity. What the fuck is it called? I think Artuga has it. Nope, they have a confederacy of captains. Not officially what's written on the necropoli. Aristocracy? No, that's with aristocracy is specifically for the aristocrats. Technocracy. I guess technocracy is really what it is. Upward moment. No, it has a name. Merit. I think it's meritocracy. Yeah, merit, as in merit. Like, it is about, you're selected based on the basis of ability, not based off of anything else. So it's like a meritocracy. But it's also a technocracy. Mortaris says merit-based technocracy. He was he started life as a street urchin, making money with a natural talent for resurrecting pets. No, I meant based off of, like, ability. He started life as a street urchin, making money with a natural talent of resurrecting pets. And eventually found himself as Grand Necromancer after her after preventing the full death, preventing the final death of, no, after preventing a potential catastrophe from his predecessor. Okay, basically, and I'm making this up as I type, by the way, in case you think I already had this in my head, I didn't. So he started life as a street urchin, making money with a natural talent for resurrecting pets, and eventually found himself as Grand Necromancer after preventing a potential catastrophe from his predecessor. We are gonna give this a name. Add link. Bonk. Open. Give me. There we go. Catastrophe from his predecessor. We're gonna go back, and we're gonna have it be named that, but its actual name is going to be, let's call this the Necrosar? The Necro... Necro something incident. You know what? I'm stealing from Warhammer. It's just gonna, no one plays Warhammer in my group. They'll never know. The Necroquake. It's fine. They'll never fucking know. There we go. So you go, potential, so you see, like, oh, for preventing a potential catastrophe from his professor, you mouse over that and it goes, the Necroquake, blah, 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 kind of thing. So on and so forth. Fenzel was Grand Necromancer for preventing a potential catastrophe. Does that from his predecessor? This was over 1,000 years ago. Rumors abound about Archon's actual state of life. Some claim he died at a natural age, and the God, it's a new body of people, and the council of no, I need a name for their council, and the osseous the osseous ring. That's what they're called. And the osseous ring are using his name and have been using his name on official documents as a puppet. Others claim that he died, but used his power to resurrect himself and now rules as a lich. And yet others believe he has simply manipulated the strands of life in his body to allow for everlasting existence. No matter the truth, though, the people of Morteus, nope, that's Mortael, Morteus, are content with the current order of things, and very few people have any qualms with the way the country is currently being run. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. The current leader of Mortaris, and often touted as proof of Mortaris' merit-based technocracy, he started life as a street urchin, making money with a natural talent for resurrecting pets, and eventually found himself as Grand Necromancer after preventing a potential catastrophe from his predecessor. This was over 1,000 years ago. Rumors abound about Archon's actual state of life. Some claim he died at a natural age, and the Osseous Ring have been using his name on official documents as a puppet. Others claim that he died, but others claim that while he did die, he somehow used his power to resurrect himself and now rules as a lich. And yet others believe he has simply manipulated the strands of life in his body to allow for everlasting existence. No matter the truth, though, the people of Mortaris are content with the order of things, and very few people have qualms with the way the country is currently being run. So there we go. Archon, he's the leader, officially on paper. No one knows if he's truly the leader or not. There's Archon. There's other non-player characters in here. I just didn't drag them into the folder, but we're going down in order. Gods we've done. We're good there. I put that here because I just wanted the folder on top. Because you can't reorganize these folders. It's one of my problems with Obsidian. There is a plugin for it, but it's finicky. Languages. Oh, God. Oh, wait. I've already written all this in. Perfect. Okay, locations. Many, many locations here. Divine domains and planes. This is going to be a lot of typing. Some of this is written out, like Domus Smactabilis, that kind of thing. Yeah. Who's Malfari again? Got us some Insanity and Fate. That was it. Were you dead? Sadly, yes. But I lived. Exactly. Fucking exactly. I still, and the reason why there's so many rumors is I haven't decided what he is or how he's ruling the planet. So yeah. Alright. I think here's the plan. I'm probably actually going to take a break for the rest of the day. I just started thinking, and I just got static. And I think I've hit my brain limit. The world building streams are always way more brain than just playing a game, and so they go a little shorter. Okay, so I'm thinking, when am I gonna stream next? Look, not tomorrow. I have work tomorrow, and I stream in the mornings. And so if I streamed in the morning, I would get distracted and forget to go to work. I've done it before already. Wednesday, I am technically free in the morning. I could stream in the morning. I'm going to go play some games of Spearhead with my friend in the evening. So I could potentially stream Wednesday. If I stream Wednesday, I'll be back on this, maybe. Actually, I'll probably be playing South of Midnight again. Because I haven't finished that, and it's a very short game, and I think we could finish it on stream. So we'll probably be back to South of Midnight on Wednesday morning, if I stream Wednesday morning. It depends on how I'm feeling. And then Thursday, I'm very busy. Probably won't be home all day. Friday, I am potentially streamable again. So I have some time this week. It's either going to be Wednesday or Friday, or both. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if there's anyone that we have up that I'm following that I want to raid. Mecha's up. Why is she? Okay. Nah, there's no one streaming that's going to be interesting to you guys who came in for D&D stuff. So I'm just going to, we're just going to say, raid? What raid? I hardly know her. And we're just going to chill. All right. Bob it up with my button. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you coming out, saying hello. Even if you were just lurking, I still appreciate you. I love a good lurk. That's how I watch streams. I'm hardly ever in chat, but I will lurk the fuck out of people's streams. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably gonna take a nap, honestly. I know it's only like noon, but man, this thing, doing D&D prep on stream, like, streaming takes it out of me, D&D stuff takes it out of me. And, like, doing D&D prep on stream is a double taking it out of me. I'm just like, ugh, tired. But yeah, so I could be back Wednesday, like I said. I could be back Friday. I don't know. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for the ideas. I'm really excited about the Aetherkin stuff and the planet stuff. That has set off a whole... It set off a whole thing in my brain that has really, really gotten me excited. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Goodbye. Goodbye. Did I tell you how this works, by the way? It automatically cuts me off after like 40 seconds or something. I get 40 seconds to talk to you guys. And eventually, at some point, it's supposed to just cut me off, like in the middle of a sentence, but it hasn't done it yet, and it's kind of like... I saw it coming, so I stopped. Anyway, see you guys later.